Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to another episode of Shy Boys Podcast. On today's episode, we got to talk about it, y'all. Trade deadline is approaching very, very soon, February 9th to be exact. I got to talk about it. Should the Bulls trade Nikola Vucevic or should they look into extending him? Y'all already know. Y'all got to hit his music first.
Cognac, gang, gang.
Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another episode for me and C-Dub today. If you like what you're listening to, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Now, look, we know that February 9th, the NBA trade deadline will be here. Honestly, I don't expect the Bulls to make many moves. But I feel like the Bulls have to come and have a long discussion about what they should do with some pieces on this team. You know what I'm saying? As far as for the Chicago Bulls, they currently have Nikola Vucevic, who's a 32-year-old player, solid player, definitely considered one of the most consistent Bulls on this team this season and in the second half of last season. Definitely was consistent. The guy is a walking double-double. The guy can space the floor. The guy can do many things. But man, it's a tough decision. Now, this guy is valuable for the team, and the guy is valuable as a trade asset, in my opinion. I don't know what the trade market is what is really like as of right now, but I do know that this guy can add value to maybe a contending team or a team that feel like they just a big away or something like that. Now, for this particular team, for the Chicago Bulls, I believe Nikola Vucevic is great for spacing, three-point shooting, and his passing ability. And we already know for the Chicago Bulls, the formula is to play through Vooch, get him engaged, and let him do his thing. And you will see that he's more active on the defensive end if you get him involved early. Now, as an asset, once again, I don't know what the market will be like for Nikola Vucevic. But this is a 32-year-old player on an expiring contract. You could possibly get some picks for him. You could possibly get young players in return to help continue to push the team forward. You know what I mean? In my opinion, we know what we are. At this particular point, we know what we are, and I feel like we know what the ceiling is with the Chicago Bulls as currently constructed. And I believe that's a first-round exit. That's my opinion. If you agree, agree. If not, that's fine too. I see it this way, and that's pretty much what is going to happen. That's pretty much what I'm going to roll with. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? Now, the questions that I have to put forward is, if the Bulls do trade him, who on the team can replace Vooch? That's the major question. So it's a tough decision, but you have to talk about it if you're the front office. If you're not talking about it, you're doing a disservice to this franchise. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are looking to trade him, what return are you looking for, and who will be Vooch's replacement? Drummond, he can't even sniff the floor on most nights. Even in obvious situations to where I feel like his size can be needed, Billy Donovan still doesn't go to Drummond. And if they say, cool, we still gonna trade him, do we really know what Marko Simonovic will look like as a starting center? We don't know. We don't know. All we know is what he's done in the G League. You know what I'm saying? And apparently that's not impressive enough or good enough to earn some minutes into the Bulls, NBA team. He's down in the G League for a reason. And you know what I'm saying? He can't get minutes for a reason. It could be that he's not performing well, or it could be that the coach is just stuck in his ways. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like there's a lot of conversation about player development when it comes to the Chicago Bulls, because the front office and Billy Donovan told us about Marko Simonovic and had us paying attention to him and stuff like that. But somehow he still ain't on the court. Same thing with Dalen Terry, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. But and then I have to go in and dive deeper into the questioning when it comes to whether you should move him or pay him. Now, who as a trade asset can replace Vooch out there that will be impactful? When I say impactful, who's going to allow that spacing? Who's going to go in and shoot the three? Who's going to have the passing ability of a Nikola Vucevic? Who's going to have the team mindset of a Nikola Vucevic? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of questions right there. But then you still got to go into the question, are you willing, as the Chicago Bulls, are you willing to pay a 32-year-old big money? Are you willing to pay Nikola Vucevic money? As of right now, the man is making $22 million a year. If I'm a player at that age, I want my, you know what I'm saying? Personally, I would want my last contract or one of my last contracts to accumulate some damn money. That's me. Some players, they'll take the hometown discount. I don't really know what Nikola Vucevic mindset is when it comes to staying and going and the amount of money that he wants. I don't know. I cannot answer that for him. But again, if I was in his shoes, I want my money because I only got a few years left. You know what I'm saying? 32, gonna be 33 years old. And then what? Another 3 or 4 years. We'll put him at 36, 37. And then after that, in most cases, you can expect a decline in pay. So if I'm Nikola Vucevic, I want my money. I want my last contract to be a solid contract. And according to Spot Rack, this guy is eligible for a 4-year, $112 million contract. Are there many teams out there that's willing to give up that money? We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. I cannot answer that. But at the end of the day, somebody may be willing to do that. Look at, I think Chris Paul was 35, 36 years old when he got his max contract with the Suns, his extension. And look how that's paying out for him. Obviously, he got it at a later age than Nikola Vucevic, but at the same time, some people will be willing to do that. Some people will be willing to do that. So from my perspective, I'm of the mindset is to get younger and more athletic at the center spot. Somebody who could also stretch the floor, but also has some shot blocking ability. But the problem is who's out there right now to fill the void. So we can have all these desires and wants and, you know, all these expectations that for what the front office should do. But in reality, is there a player out there that you can see that can fill that void for Nikola Vucevic at a cheaper price? I don't know. That's just me, though. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot to consider, especially when me personally, I would love to see a shot block. I mean, if you want to knock Vooch on something, you might question his defense and his shot blocking ability. But the offensive side of him kind of makes up for that because he can score, you know, on most nights very, very easily in the paint. And then on most nights, he'll get going from the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those athletic bigs, you know what I'm saying, that can come in and be that shot blocker, they don't necessarily have that jump shot right away. So I'm going to be honest, y'all. I'm kind of stuck in the middle because I can literally go back and forth for this for another 10 minutes and I still won't have a decision made. But it has to be talked about with the Chicago Bulls front office on what the expectation is moving forward. You've seen this season that these guys are losing to sub 500 teams or losing games that are very winnable after going up double digits in the third or in the first half or having that double digit lead going into the fourth and they're giving it up. So it's a lot you got to, you know, consider. What do you want this Bulls franchise to look like moving forward? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times, in my opinion, patience, it can be a virtue, but it can also hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what kind of thing you have going on. So they got a lot of decisions to make, bro. They got a lot of decisions to make, not just Nikola Vucevic. They got decisions to make on DeMar DeRozan as well. You know what I'm saying? They saying that these guys are untouchable, but are they really, though? Are they really? Me personally, even though I'm a YouTube GM, you feel me? These people, they know way more than I do when it comes to money, construction of contracts, et cetera, et cetera. And me just looking, you know, from the outside looking in, I wouldn't be willing to pay that much money. But on the flip side, you got to think about who the hell can come in here and help put together a team that's going to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot to think about with this particular topic. You know what I'm saying? Because I can go a number of ways. Because I always say it, and I've been saying it all season. I'd rather see a young, scrappy team with some heart that's going to go out there and play hard. But wouldn't it suck if we losing? It would definitely suck if you're losing. So you just got to think about it, man. It would definitely suck if we just losing. So because no one likes losses. Even though the Bulls was losing, they lost some horrible games this season. We all get a sign of relief. We sleep a little better. We wake up a little better. And we get to come on, and drop content a little bit better when the Bulls are actually winning, even if it is in the last game against the Orlando Magic. So go ahead and let me know in the comments, y'all. This is a tough decision for me, and I'm pretty sure it's a tough decision for the Bulls front office. It's definitely a tough decision for the Bulls front office. So go ahead in the comment box. Let me know. Would you trade Nikola Vucevic or would you extend Nikola Vucevic? And if you're trading, what are you looking for to get back? Who's going to fill that void for the center that's going to be left behind? Because it's not. I don't know if it's Andre Drummond. Well, I'm sure it's not Andre Drummond. He can't even get tick. You know what I'm saying? So let's be realistic about this. Let's have an honest conversation in the comment box. Keep it a buck with me. We're going to trade some, trade some ideas, shoot them back and forth amongst each other. And y'all already know, just do what it do. But hey, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so every time we drop, you be the first ones to know. That's with the daily episodes and the live calls every single game with C-Dub doing this thing, calling those games. And hey, if you want to leave us a voicemail or text message, hit up that number 773-242-9219. This is another episode of Shy Boys Podcast. Y'all know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.
Cognac.